Okay, here we are, week 8 of our summer series following Barbara Brown Taylor's and Altering the World. Remember, this whole series is about keeping ourselves moving and growing and staying out of the summer doldrums. So this week, however, the practice is on Sabbath, rest. Barbara Brown Taylor calls this chapter the practice of saying no. So obviously, we need to practice saying no to the external pulls, people asking us to volunteer, or we overcommit with our travel and our time. But also, I think one of the most important things we need to say no to is the monkey mind, right? So when we're not listening to our bodies and we let our overactive brains take over, then it's very difficult to rest. And it's also really important to have practiced this rest Sabbath. In yoga, we use savasana before it becomes necessary. Right? So you might find yourself in a crisis or a trauma situation where you really have to be still. And it's best to have learned how to keep the monkey mind at bay before that happens. So the other interesting thing is that in the Hebrew tradition, where the 10 Commandments, the Sabbath commandment to keep one day out of 7 holy, it's occurred to me that a traditional yoga practice usually ends with a shavasana that is about 1/7 of the time. So if you take an hour or an hour and a half yoga class, you're going to lay in shavasana for 8 or 10 minutes. So in this practice, we're going to practice shavasana. We're going to do it a short one and then a little bit longer one. And then in a 30-minute practice, we're going to be in shavasana at the end for a little more than 4 minutes. So we'll start, as we always do, by warming the spine, following our breath. Then we're going to do some side body work, and then we're going to do some moving with forward folds that are going to help calm us down and make us ready for that stillness. So make sure you have your props, blocks, blanket, strap, and we'll get going. We're going to start laying on your back. So have your feet flat on the mat. Maybe tuck your shoulder blades together. Maybe rest one hand on your belly. Our breathing practice today is going to be extending the exhale. So take a couple of natural breaths. And then we're going to do a 4 inhales, 7 count exhales. So having the feet flat on the floor, maybe you can touch your heels with your fingertips, tuck your shoulder blades together, maybe rest one hand on your belly, and we're going to do a longer exhale than inhale. So you're going to inhale for 4 counts, and then exhale for like 7. Inhaling deeply. Exhale, nice and slowly. And inhale. And exhale. All the way out. And inhale. And exhale. So just know if these practices give you any anxiety, come back to your normal breath. Inhaling and exhaling. So do that a couple more times on your own breath. And then just come back to your normal breathing. So in this chapter, Barbara Brown Taylor tells the story that when you ask someone in China how they are, they say, "I'm very busy, thank you," as if busyness were a measure of our wellness. And it's not. It's not a measure of our worth. There's nothing you need to do to be valued. So today is your intention. I'd like to just set it, saying to yourself, I am enough. So repeat that to yourself a few times and know that you can come back to that at any time during the practice. You start to doubt yourself or get distracted. So on exhale, draw your knees into your chest, rock from side to side a little bit. So let's get our belly muscles starting to activate. Hold on to one knee, extend the other leg out, going as low as you can with no back pain, and pull that knee in and switch. Do that a few more times. No tension in the neck or shoulders, back of the neck long. You can gently pull that knee toward the shoulders. You start to get a little warmer. So one more time. And then draw both knees into the chest and plant your feet again. Exhale everything out. Make your spine really long, and then on inhale, push your palms and your upper arms into the mat and lift your hips. Little bridge pose. And exhale, drop down. And inhale, lift your hips. And exhale, drop down. One more time. Inhale, lift your hips. Exhale, drop down. And pull your knees into your chest again and cross one knee closely over the other. So maybe holding the backs of your thighs to help keep your thighs close to your chest, and then roll over to the side of the bottom leg. All right. So maybe you can release that top hand and draw your upper body back to the other side. Nice, easy twist. Shouldn't be any pain anywhere. Couple breaths here. Move your free arm around however you like. And then pull your low belly in. Use your feet to bring you back up to center, uncross, and take an exhale. Then we'll go the other direction. So cross the other knee over. Hold those thighs close to the chest as you roll over to the side of the bottom leg. Your feet become the anchor. Maybe you draw your opposite arm back. And again, you can move it around a little bit. Check in with the shoulders, rib cage. And then pull that low belly in. Use your hands on your thighs. Once again, drawing your knees into your chest. And then we'll roll to one side so that we can come up to all fours. So spread those fingers wide, wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And on an inhale, on an exhale, hollow out, drop your tailbone. Let your head hang if you can. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side or move your head or your neck. And then inhale. Gently arch, tailbone up, crown of the head up. Exhale, hollow out. Inhale, gently arch. One more time. Exhale, hollow out. And inhale, gently arch. And then make that a little bit longer, taking one leg out behind you. Inhale now, make the spine long. And then exhale, knee to the nose if you can. Inhale, heel out, crown of the head out long. Exhale, knee into the nose. One more time, inhale, heel out. Exhale, knee to the nose. Come back to all fours, and right away, inhale the other leg out. Exhale, knee to the nose. 2 more times. You could use that intention like a mantra. I am. On the inhale, enough. On the exhale. And then come on back to neutral. And walk your hands about 1 hand length forward so that you can bring your shoulders over your wrists. We're going to do 3 little mini chaturanga push-ups. So only going as deep as you can, supporting yourself with your core, right? Squeeze the elbows in, exhaling down, inhaling, push away. Exhaling down, inhale, push away. 1 more, exhaling down, inhaling, push away, and squeeze those elbows in, exhaling down to the mat all the way, and make that pillow for your head with your hands. Maybe rock your hips from side to side a little bit, bend and straighten your knees a couple of times. We're going to work the back side of the body a little bit. So straighten your legs out, push the tops of the feet into the mat, and on an inhale, lift your heels, keeping your legs nice and long and straight, upper body relaxed. 1 more deep inhale here. And exhale, relax the legs down again, bend the knees, gently windshield wiper from side to side. So we'll take that a little bit deeper. Push your feet into the mat. On an inhale, lengthen your legs, lift your heels. And if you want to go a little more deeper, lift your shoulders and reach your fingertips towards your heels. Back of the neck so long. On your next inhale, see if you can take your arms forward like Superman. Raise a little higher. And then exhaling, gently release. Put your hands under your shoulders. Squeeze your elbows in. See if you can get your hips up first. And come on back to all fours. So you might want to grab hold of a block here. We're going to do 1 low lunge before our first Shavasana. So dropping your tailbone, front knee right over the ankle. Make yourself nice and stable. And then bring your hands to your thigh. And then sweep your arms up. Nice big front body opener. 1 long curve from your heel up through your fingertips. And then let's give ourselves a tricep stretch. So take that arm of the leg behind you and extend that curve. Hold the elbow, lift, make it long. And exhaling, gently release. Simply switch to the other side. And do these transitions safely. Dropping your tailbone, hands to the thigh. Root that front foot. And inhale, sweep the arms up. And then grab hold of that other elbow and lengthen the curve. Heel to the elbow. Exhaling, gently release. Pull that low belly and come back to all fours. So about 20 years ago, I took my first yoga class. It was a Bikram class. And in Bikram, you do a bunch of mini Shavasana in between poses. So rock yourself onto one hip, safely bring yourself to the mat. Grab a little timer here. Find your Shavasana, knees bent or fully stretched out. Few breaths here. Again, this is just practice. Don't let the monkey mind take over. Allow your body to enjoy this stillness. One more deep inhale. And exhale. And then bend your knees and draw them into your chest. Roll to one side so that you can bring yourself back to all fours. And we're going to rock ourselves back into a child's pose. So put that block between your hips and your heels if it's helpful, or rest your forehead on the block. It's better for you not to have your head below your heart. You could rest your chin in your hands. And then inhale, come back to all fours. We're going to come to standing, so bring one leg forward. Curl the back toe under, front knees right over the ankle. Lift the back thigh. Coming to Tadasana. Nice flat back. Feet are about 2 fist widths apart. Reach the crown of the head up long. Take your arms up and over. And we're going to do a little side body work. So side stretching. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, fold to one side. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, fold to the other side. And again, 2 more times. Nice. Good. Come on back up to center. Exhale and release your arms down. Take a moment to return to that intention. You are enough right here in this moment. And then we'll take a big wide stride. So maybe you get so wide that your ankles are under your wrists. So you might want to have a block. So finding your block safely. We're going to soften our knees and fold forward with a flat back. You could rest your hands on the block, or you could take them all the way to the floor. So start to feel a stretch in the back side of the body and the inner thighs. Maybe move your hips a little bit from side to side. And then we're going to flow. Go to one side, exhaling deeply. Inhale, keep the knees bent, come through center. Exhale to the other side. So just gaze down at your hands or the floor. Inhaling through center, exhaling to the first side. Nice deep lunge. One more time. Inhaling through center, exhaling last side. And then it's safe for you. Get your hand below your heart, or your head below your heart. Walk your arms forward, backwards so you can see me, so that you're basically in a very wide leg downward facing dog. Just a couple breaths here. You can keep your hands where they are and heel toe your way in. All right, I'm going to turn sideways. Or pull my low belly in, float my knees down, and I land in all fours. We're going to do a gate pose. So again, turning to the wide edge of your mat, take one leg out to the side. All right, bring your hands to your hips, pad that bottom knee if you need. Inhaling, take that opposite arm up in the air, my toes are pointing straight forward, and exhale, folding straight to the side. Hips nice and level, facing the front. Couple deep breaths here. And inhaling, come on back up. So we pull our low belly in as our hips drop back, so that we can bring our fingertips to the floor, come to your knee, go to the other side. So setting up, nice firm foundation, then inhale, get tall, and exhale to the other side. Taking your time, just exploring the stretch. And inhaling, come on back up to center. It's time for our second Shavasana. So shift your hips to one side. Swing your feet around. Safely lower yourself to the ground. Find your breath. And just be fully present. You are enough. Three more breaths. And then bend your knees. That was just 2 minutes. Safely draw your knees into your chest so you can roll to one side. Pushing yourself up through all fours. Right. We do a hamstring stretch and a low lunge. Bring one foot forward. Again, knee right over the ankle. Grabbing a block if it's helpful. Inhale, lift your hips up and back. Draw your toes back towards your knee. Try and keep your hips level. Take a couple breaths, spine long. And bring that body weight right back to the front foot so that you can swing it around and go right to the other side. So these deep forward folds are a great way to get ready to rest. So inhale, other side. Lift your hips up and back, hips level. Draw your toes back towards your knee. Exhale into the tight place. Good, and inhaling. We're coming to standing, so body weight over that front foot, lift the back thigh, scoot the back foot in, hands on the thighs, get nice and tall, inhaling, fingertips up in the air, and exhaling your hands to your heart. So we're going to do a one-legged balance with a forward fold. So using a strap, or you could grab hold of your big toe, right? So hold on to a wall or a chair if it's helpful. You're going to inhale, get long, stretch your leg out. More important to keep the spine straight than have your leg bent. So switch your drishti, your focal point, to the floor about 6 feet in front of you. I'm going to turn sideways so I can be sure that you can see me. And see if you can fold your body forward toward that leg. No pain in the low back, right? And exhaling, gently release. Walk it out. We'll try that on the other side. Take a breath. Set yourself up. Use that breath and the drishti. Help you balance. And then let that go. Come on back, walk it out. Let go of your strap. We're going to finish with a sun salutation. So roll your shoulders up, back, and down. Come to the front of your mat. Inhaling, take your arms up in the air. Maybe a little gentle back bend. Exhaling, fold forward, flat back, wherever it's safe for you. Take a couple breaths in your version of a forward fold. Come back to that intention. I am enough. You are enough. Then inhaling, fingertips under the knees, half forward fold, spine parallel to the ground. Exhaling, plant your hands and take your feet back to the top of a push-up plank. You could float your knees down, right? Inhale, get tall. Exhaling, chaturanga, squeeze those elbows in, down to the mat. Push those tops of the feet into the mat. Inhaling, gentle cobra. Right away, curl your toes under. Find your downward facing dog. Inhale deeply here. Exhaling, soften your knees. Walk your feet forward into your version of a forward fold. Again, a couple breaths here. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, soften again. Reverse your dive, fingertips up in the air. And exhaling, hands to your heart. One more time. Inhaling, arms up. Bringing ourselves to the floor. Exhaling, fold. Inhaling, fingers under the knees, half forward fold. Exhaling, bend the knees. Walk your feet back to the top of a push-up plank. If you haven't already, float your knees down. And exhale, take a child's pose. And it's time for our last shavasana. So take a couple of breaths to transition onto your back. Maybe it's legs up the wall. Maybe it's knees bent. Maybe you want to put a blanket under your head. Keep your neck long. So practicing our Sabbath rest about 1/7 of our time together. Recall your intention. And then just let it go. Remember, this is just practice for the monkey mind. Adjust your body if you need, but try and keep the stillness. Take one more deep inhale, perhaps to the count of 4. And then exhale deeply, perhaps to the count of 7. Feel the support underneath you. And then start to make some small motions, maybe the fingers and the toes, maybe a big morning stretch. When you're ready, make the motions big enough so that you can draw your knees into your chest. Maybe plant your feet, draw your elbows together, wrapping your arms around you yourself, giving yourself a hug, remembering that you are enough and your worth is not determined by your level of activity. When you're ready, gently rolling to one side. You could stay resting on your side, or you could push yourself all the way up to seated. So all those things that are rivals for our attention can get along fine without it. Or as Barbara Brown Taylor says, the ancient wisdom of the Sabbath commandment and also the Christian gospel is that there is no saying yes to God without saying no to God's rivals. So I encourage you to keep on practicing Sabbath rest. 1/7 of your practice. On an inhale, bring your hands to your heart center. Exhaling, bow your head to your heart, giving yourself a mental pat on the back for showing up and sticking with the rest. Remember that it's all so that we can be our best for the rest of the world. It's bigger than us. The Spirit in me honors the Spirit in each of you. Namaste.